The movie starts with the discovery of the remains of over 70 American soldiers who were killed in a massacre near Malmedy. The Germans attacked the unarmed prisoners, resulting in the deaths of most of them. General Eisenhower declared that the German officers involved in the massacre would be tried for war crimes and punished severely after the war ended. Prior to this, a group of Germans attacked and overpowered Allied soldiers in Ardennes Forest, capturing around 100 American soldiers. During the attack, a medic named Stephen Gould tries to help a wounded man, but is assaulted by a cruel SS soldier. Another soldier named Shirley Kendrick has his cigarettes taken away. The American soldiers are then herded into a field where the Germans search their pockets and take their belongings, including Bibles, cigarettes, money, and other valuables. One soldier named Corporal Nathan Deacon negotiates with a German soldier in his native language to get his Bible back. Amidst the chaos, some soldiers believe they will be shot, and one attempts to run, but is killed. In the confusion, the Americans manage to grab a rifle from a German soldier and kill him, prompting the other German soldiers to open fire. The Germans also killed the wounded man that Gould was trying to save. Gould hides behind a log, but the same German soldier who killed his patient finds him. However, Deacon appears, disarms the German soldier, and knocks him down. Gould urges Deacon to shoot, but Deacon lets the German soldier run free as he doesn't want to shoot an unarmed man. Gould becomes angry with Deacon for not killing the enemy, but they are interrupted by Staff Sergeant Gordon Gunderson, who signals them to take cover. Back in the field, the Germans shoot any American soldiers who may still be alive. After completing their task, the Germans refuel their vehicles and leave. Kendrick emerges from beneath a dead American soldier and meets Gould, Gunderson, and Deacon in the forest. Gould treats Kendrick's bullet wound while they discuss their next steps. Gunderson takes command and suggests finding a place to hide since they are behind enemy lines and have only one stolen German rifle with 4 rounds left. They decide to return to the Allied lines and wait for the Allies to rejoin the fight. With Deacon leading the way, they begin their journey, holding on to the rifle. They return to the field but find no survivors or weapons. However, they come across a destroyed ambulance and take what they can from the dead soldiers' bodies. Gunderson sends Deacon to find shelter, providing him with a heavy coat from one of the corpses to keep warm. As Deacon walks through the forest, he is wearing a heavy coat. He comes across a doll on the ground and gets scared by it. However, when he looks back, the doll is gone. While Deacon is away, Gunderson tells the ghoul that he thinks Deacon is suffering from shell shock. Kendrick expresses his concerns about Deacon's qualifications to carry a weapon, but Gunderson defends Deacon, mentioning that he has saved him multiple times and got the gun from a German earlier. After an hour, Deacon returns and leads the group to a small shed that appears to have been bombed. While Deacon takes the first watch, Gould discovers a small compartment under the shed. Gould, who seems suspicious of everyone, asks Gunderson why he and Deacon are close. Gunderson explains that Deacon is a good guy with no vices and a skilled sharpshooter. Gunderson reveals that he is from Chicago, Gould is from Brooklyn, and Kendrick is from Louisiana. Gunderson advises Deacon to say he is from Arizona. Meanwhile, Deacon hears a noise and sees a person in the field. When he aims his rifle, the person disappears. Thinking it's just his imagination, Deacon starts praying. He reads his Bible and looks at a picture of his wife hidden inside. Deacon hears another noise, but this time, he sees a German Jeep approaching. He hides in the compartment with the others, while Kendrick shows Gould a card trick. The American soldiers hope the Jeep will pass, but it doesn't. The Germans stop outside and eventually set up inside the shed, unaware that the American soldiers are hiding in the compartment they found earlier. The Germans eat, laugh, talk, and listen to German radio traffic. They hear a plane crash nearby and leave to investigate. Deacon, who understands German, interprets their conversation as something about the Meuse River and a plane crash. As they head towards the crash site, they find a man stuck in a tree. Gunderson orders Kendrick to help him down. However, the pilot immediately threatens Kendrick with his sidearm, mistaking them for disguised Germans. He quizzes the Americans, and they answer some questions incorrectly. Eventually, the pilot believes them and releases Kendrick. The pilot asks for the location of their command post, and Winley introduces himself as Flight Sergeant Oberon Winley of the Royal Air Force. Winley reveals that he has vital intelligence for the Allies and needs to reach Allied headquarters quickly. They return to the shed, where Winley explains the information he has, which could greatly aid the Allies in the ongoing Battle of the Bulge. The others are initially hesitant, but eventually agree to help him get across 20 miles behind enemy lines to Army intelligence. While walking through heavy snow, Deacon feels like something is watching him, but when he turns to look, it's gone. Gould notices Deacon's nervousness and asks about his knowledge of the German language. Deacon reveals that he learned the language during his time as a missionary in Berlin. The tension between Winley and Kendrick from their initial rough meeting causes friction. They stumble upon an abandoned house, and Kendrick ensures it's safe, finding only birds inside. Gunderson takes the first watch, but Deacon insists on taking over over, despite Gunderson ordering him to sleep. Deacon eventually falls asleep while reading his Bible but wakes up from a nightmare. Gould notices it but doesn't inquire about it. Meanwhile, Gunderson falls asleep on watch but wakes up upon hearing footsteps and seeing German soldiers passing their hideout. Luckily, they go unnoticed. They make hot drinks and Deacon shares that he recently received a letter about his pregnant wife who is due soon. They continue their journey with Deacon leading, stopping for Gunderson to locate their position on the map. Winley asks if they have any secrets to share to build camaraderie. Deacon and Kendrick share theirs, but Winley mocks Kendrick's. When Kendrick asks for Winley's secret in return, he refuses, and they continue their journey. Deacon's visions become more intense, and he sees a woman and child pleading not to be killed. Gunderson and Gould restrain him as German soldiers are nearby. Gunderson reveals to Gould that Deacon accidentally killed 2 women and 6 children while trying to take out a sniper in a recent skirmish. Gunderson decides to give Kendrick the rifle to scout the area while the others watch over Deacon. Deacon's deep religious beliefs contrast with Gould's agnosticism as they share stories of holding dying soldiers. When Gould asks why Deacon sympathizes with the Germans, Deacon explains that they are all the same, just wearing different uniforms, which angers Gould, causing him to walk ahead. Later, the snowfall intensifies, making their journey more challenging. Kendrick falls through a shed, and Winley suggests leaving him behind to save time. However, Gunderson insists on not abandoning anyone. They stumble upon a small house, where they take refuge in the shed while Gunderson investigates. Inside, they find a French woman, Madame Catherine Thierry, and her daughter Sophie, who warmly welcome them and offer shelter and food. A severe winter storm slows them down at the woman's house. Winley decides to leave alone, believing he can reach his destination the next day. He gives Gunderson his remaining cigarettes for Kendrick, who had been asking for one since they met. A German patrol arrives at the house, attempting to take advantage of Thierry, but Deacon intervenes. The soldiers attack the Germans, and Deacon, known for his sharpshooting skills, misses an escaping German twice at close range. Winley catches the German, and they bring him back to the group. As they argue about whether to execute the prisoner, Deacon recognizes him as Rudolf Goertz, whom he had encountered during his missionary work. Deacon believes that missing the shot was divine intervention, as he never misses. During the night, Deacon allows Goertz to escape in exchange for information about troop movements. The soldiers leave the next day, taking weapons from the German truck, which is out of fuel, and continue on foot. They come across a group of German soldiers and decide to sneak through instead of fighting. However, Gunderson is shot and killed by a German patrol. Gould urges Deacon to move on as they cannot help Gunderson, who is bleeding out rapidly. In the following scene, a full-scale fight breaks out, and Winley is wounded. Kendrick helps Winley, and they navigate through the woods. Gould tells Kendrick to leave Winley behind, but Kendrick insists on carrying him. They find a hiding spot, and Gould tends to Winley's gunshot wound. Their position is eventually compromised, leading to a shootout. Kendrick is shot while carrying Winley to safety. The two reconcile, with Winley giving Kendrick a cigarette just before he dies. Winley tries to escape, but falls into a river. Gould and Deacon save him. As they try to revive Winley, a German soldier approaches. It turns out to be Rudolf Goertz, the same German soldier Deacon had allowed to escape the night before. He lets them run, grabs an empty jeep, and heads towards the Allied lines. They pretend to be German medics with a wounded soldier, sneaking through German territory and even helping them with their stuck jeep. But when the Germans hear Gould speaking English, they order their troops to shoot at the jeep. Deacon keeps driving, pushing through the enemies. When they reach their squad, the Americans mistake them for Germans and start shooting. The Germans also fired at them from behind. Deacon tries to hold off the Germans while Winley escapes with Gould, but Deacon gets shot and killed. His last thoughts are of the family he unintentionally harmed. Winley and Gould reach Allied command, and the important information they carry helps stop the German attack, leading to an Allied victory in the Battle of the Bulge. Gould finds Deacon's body and takes his Bible, grateful for saving his life. He also acknowledges Goertz, who is being arrested, with a nod of thanks. The movie ends with Gould treating a German soldier, whom he remembers as a cruel Waffen-SS soldier from a previous massacre, showing that he's following Deacon's example of kindness. And with that, the movie ends. We hope you enjoyed our video. Watch the next recaps on the screen and don't forget to subscribe for more amazing recaps. See you in the next one.